Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Bahrain Now. I'm your host, Bara Abdallah, and this season is filled with latest topics and trends happening in the country, which you don't want to miss out. So stay tuned for more with Bahrain Now. Ladies and gentlemen, physiotherapy is a dynamic profession which uses a range of treatments techniques to restore movement and function within the body. The aim of physiotherapy is to optimize someone's range of movement and function whilst at the same time reducing pain and preventing recurrence. Let's watch the next video together and welcome Dr. Iyad Ahmed after this video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with us here today is Mr. Iyad Ahmed himself telling us more about physiotherapy. First of all, good evening.
Good evening.
And well, it is a pleasure to have you with us here today. So what made you go to the field of physiotherapy?
Okay. Since I was young, I always wanted to treat with my hands. So I thought I'm going to become a surgeon. Then as an athlete, I used to get a lot of injuries. I ride horses and I do show jumping. So that has lots of injuries and falls.
Can imagine.
So I used to go to physiotherapy to treat my ankle. Then I started reading more about physiotherapy and I saw that physiotherapy is very broad and you can use different techniques, it's not only machines. So I thought I'm going to change that concept of physiotherapy in Bahrain and have a clinic that's based only on manual therapy and no machines.
Wow.
So yeah, it did happen. And I've been having my clinic for 12 years now. Yeah.
Okay, well that's amazing, you know, manual therapy and being an athlete. So it does help a lot. Being an athlete, it can actually make you understand more into the physiotherapy world, right? Like the pain and all of that, or what do you think?
It's not only the pain, it's the mechanics of human body and the mechanism of injuries. Not through only my sport, even other sports. In order to treat some athletes, I have to go and try their sport to have a better understanding how they get injured. And when they explain to me some technical terminologies when they get injured, to know the mechanism of injury and how to avoid it and how to treat it.
Wow, so you literally sometimes, depending on the case, you have to go practice the actual sports of a certain athlete?
Yes.
Where there's like certain sports like you felt like, I can't do that. Like, did you have to go with martial arts, for example?
Yes, exactly. That's a good example. I mean, when the jiu-jitsu fighters started coming to my clinic,
wow,
and they used to give me these terminologies of armbar, triangle, and things like that. And I was like, okay, how does the injury happen? So I went and tried a few sessions of jiu-jitsu just to understand these terminologies. It was a nice sport, though.
Can imagine.
It's very technical.
Wow.
Yeah, and since then I've been treating lots of martial art athletes as well.
Amazing, amazing. You don't hear it every day that a doctor actually gets involved in a certain sport for him to understand the cause of the injury and why is the nature of the sports actually leads to certain injuries. A lot of people will go and like, depending on the nature, depending on the experiences that he will go through patients and clients, he would develop a certain pattern, but you actually went to the battlefield itself
Yeah.
to experience the certain sport. So have you tried all sports so far?
Not really, but I get involved in lots of sports.
Okay.
Recently, when triathlon was introduced
Right.
to the community here in Bahrain, I was involved in Ironman races, and I've been the sponsor for 4 years to treat the athletes after the finish line for their recovery. So yeah, I do go and talk to trainers, to athletes themselves, and learn what they do in their training, how the intensity of their training changes depending on the season itself. You know, pre-season, off-season, in-season, it's all different in intensities. Other than that, out of curiosity, I went and studied to be a certified strength and conditioning specialist.
Wow.
In order when I have any conversation with athletes to answer the right answers and not just guess answers. So. Yeah.
Wow, that is very interesting. Now, if I ever want to be a physiotherapist, I would just follow your lead. It's like just play the sport, do the study, and make it happen. That is amazing. So now, what do you think of how far we have reached with physiotherapy here in Bahrain?
Okay, the new generation of physiotherapists is just amazing. I mean, my colleagues in other clinics, each one specialized in a sport. Like, have some friends who are into CrossFitters, and they treat CrossFitters. So they work with CrossFit boxes and gyms. Other physiotherapists work with cyclists. I do work with martial arts and triathlons, and many other sports injuries.
Wow.
So yeah, the new generation of physiotherapists are always up to date. They try to learn new techniques, try to apply new techniques, and try to avoid injuries more than treating injuries.
That is very interesting. You did mention manual therapy with no machines.
Yeah.
So how was people's reception with all of that? Because, you know, we've been brought up in a certain culture that when you go to a clinic or you want to go to a hospital, seeing like a big machine makes you feel like, oh, they are updated. But you're saying manual therapy, like you want to focus more on that. So how was the reception with that?
In the beginning, I mean, once the clients enter the room and they check out and they see there's no machine there, and they're like, okay, is this guy doing the right thing? Would he be able to treat me? Then when they start to explain to them the injury, how it happened, how to avoid it, and then release some muscles, and they go, oh, the pain is gone. And you did it only with your hands. How come? While if I'm going to use the machine, I'm going to need to see you every other day for a few weeks, then I'm going to see a bit of results. So once they see quick results, that's when they say, okay, that works better.
Wow.
So,
Wow. So you actually think that right now here in Bahrain, I would say we're more dependent on the thought of that when we see machines, we feel more relaxed? Is that still the culture is there?
That was before.
Okay.
It's still with the old generation. With the younger generation, no, they want to feel the difference within one session. And usually sports injuries or pain in general is because of some dysfunctions. And dysfunctions are caused by imbalances in the muscles, either tightnesses or weaknesses in some muscles, overactivity in some muscles. So you fix this imbalance, and that's going to fix the dysfunction, and the pain disappears. So once this happens, you get good results.
That is amazing. I mean, just to hear all this information right now, it's just, you know, it's very interesting. Such an eye-opening talk right now. Now, with all that being said, have you noticed there's a certain pattern, like something that reoccur all the time, like of a certain injury? Is there like a very common injury that you get to see with athletes here in Bahrain?
It's not only athletes, but recently with COVID, you know, we have work from home.
Right.
And once we go work from home, the setup itself is a disaster.
Okay.
So people sit on sofas, on their beds, they're slouched. So I've been seeing a pattern of neck and back pain recently for the past year and a half.
Okay.
with athletes, it changed a bit because some athletes started to change the way they train.
Right.
Because they're working out at home. And sometimes working out at home, you don't have the right feedback of a mirror or a trainer watching you properly.
Okay.
Because when you do the virtual classes, they see you from one angle and they don't see you from other angles to fix.
Right.
Some trainers ask you to change the angle of the camera in order to help more. But yeah, we do get injuries because of the form.
Huh. I mean, so is there like something simple we can do? Because you just noticed, they just like notified us on the fact that we sit on a couch or a bed, we always slouch. And I know my back is not really the perfect back out there. Definitely, I need some physiotherapy myself, I guess, at this point. But should we just like sit like this and we have to be perpendicular to the chair? Or what do you advise us?
Now, first of all, do not sit in the same position for a prolonged period. I mean, that's the cause of getting pains and aches. Try to move.
Okay.
Have an alarm every 40 to 45 minutes, stand up, walk, even if it's for a few seconds. Then just set up your posture. Remind yourself of the position in front of the screen. Make sure it's not on the side, you're not bending on one side. So it's not only the posture, it's staying in the same position for a prolonged period.
Okay.
That's what we have to fix.
I mean, I even noticed you the way you were sitting since the beginning of the interview. It's like, this guy is engineered. And it's like, I can see like the angles, like they're like 90 degree. And I'm just slouching and it's like, so thank you. You know, now I will just sit like this. Even though the producer keeps telling me, you know, stay still, like straighten up your back, but we don't. So now with all that being said right now, we talked about a little bit about the physiotherapy field in Bahrain and the new generation and all of that. Where do you see us heading with all of this in the future, or the near future, I would say?
Well, once we have the population educated to prevent injuries, that's when we reach a higher level. By preventing injuries means having maintenance sessions before we start to feel pain. It's just like any performance car. You can't just drive it in the track and keep going on. You have to go to the pit stop, do some adjustments, make sure everything is correct, then you carry on. Because if the alignment of the wheel is a bit off, the wear and tear on that wheel is going to happen. It's the same thing with our body, it's our machine. So we have tightness in one muscle more than the other. We're just compensating. And by compensating on and on and on, we develop an injury. That's going to set us back and slow down our training and lower our performance. So before getting the injury, get adjusted, get yourself fixed.
Wow. So you're saying you would recommend that at least each one of us should at least have one session just to check, like do a full scan of his body if he needs any fixing, I would say. Would that be recommended?
Yeah, that's recommended. And before feeling the actual pain, if you just feel a discomfort, get it fixed before it gets chronic, because that's going to take more sessions in order to treat it.
Unfortunately, a lot of us fell for that trap, right?
Yeah.
Just keeping it going until we reach our 40s and 50s, and that's it, game over.
Yeah.
Wow, definitely. Well, any last advice to your viewers?
Well, keep moving, stay active,
right,
and that's going to keep you healthy.
All right. Simply said. Thank you so much,
You're
Mr. Iyad
welcome.
Ahmed. That was an eye-opening of a talk.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, keep moving, stay active, and be healthy. Those were the words of Iyad Ahmed here on Bahrain Now. So stay tuned for more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the summertime, and there's nothing better than hitting the seashores and swimming pools. But with more precautionary measures, you can make the best out of your staycation. And this is why we have lifeguards who are at the watch and who are sitting on the tip of their chairs to ensure the safest good time for swimmers and vacationers. So let's watch this coming video. you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And today we are blessed, honored, and excited to have Mr. Romel Delma. Sir, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you for inviting me here. It's my pleasure to be here.
Oh, definitely. I think, historically speaking, for Bahrain Now,
Yeah.
you're the first lifeguard to be interviewed.
Whoa.
Definitely.
I'm so lucky for that.
Oh, definitely. Here's the thing. When they told me we're going to have a lifeguard to be interviewed, the first thing came to my mind is Baywatch.
Oh. Hopefully I can be involved in the Baywatch too.
Do you want to be in that movie?
Oh, why not if they have a chance?
Okay, you can be the protagonist, you do the slow motion walk with the surfer and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do that too.
You can do that too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have you ever did like a small scene of a movie, like, just for the fun of it?
I know, I've never been experienced in that.
Okay, no props. So why did you become a lifeguard?
For me, since I was young, I was an active in sports. Then I started to learn a lot of things of activities. Then I love swimming. So now I'm thinking to myself, I think I can learn a lot of this and maybe I can help people also.
Okay.
So this is my what do you call this one? My position when that time. So
Wow. So how many years now have you been a lifeguard?
I started coaching as a swimming teacher year 2000.
Okay.
Then 2007 I start taking a course, a lifeguard training course. This is included water safety and rescue, basic life support, first aid. Then I become a certified lifeguard after that. Then for me, it is my passion to share my knowledge and expertise about the field that I choose. It's my profession. So being at almost 20 years now, so I love to do it, and now I love teaching also.
Okay.
And maybe, if God's will, I will stay this profession in my whole life.
Well, it seems like you are. The way you're so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Now, you as a lifeguard, what do you provide as services to the people who are at, the swimming pool or at the seashores? What does a lifeguard do besides just saving people's lives?
Yeah. Let's talk about Bahrain. Bahrain is surrounded by waters.
Right.
So there's easy to go anywhere to swim. So that's why most of the people, they're going to beaches and they're going to swimming pools because for sure, they are looking for want to enjoy and with the family, with the friends, for having fun in the water. So this is very important that anyone have first learn how to swim. Nowadays, this is good for Bahrain because most of the people now, they are aware, and most of them they're joining the swimming classes, and it's good. But mostly we are as much as we can. All the people here everyone's know how to swim.
Here's a little thing about me. I can't swim. It's really I tried.
Yeah.
It's not really my thing at all. And I'm going to reach 40 very soon. Is there hope for me?
Yeah, of course. Anyone can learn swimming as long as you have interest. This is number one.
Okay.
And you need to give your best to whatever the coaches or instructor told you. You need to try your best.
Okay.
Of course, he or she are there to help you. So that's what they encourage you. You need to trust yourself too. This is
Okay.
very important.
All right. I will take your advice, sir. Yes, sir. So, now, I'm assuming before Bahrain, you were somewhere else as a lifeguard or as a coach. Where were you before?
Before, I'm doing other activities because as my course is not in my profession now. So, but like what I said, as long as you have a passion, you need to do what your goal. So I think for me, I'm happy for what I'm doing now. So I want to continue it to help other people.
All right. Great. So is one of your dreams to be next by the seashore forever and just be by water? You know, me end up like being like Aquaman maybe?
For me, Aquaman is a movie, but why not? But for me, as long as I can help people to give them the best that I can do, who am coming with me and asking for help, so I will help them the best on my knowledge. So this is my dream. So
Okay.
everyone have always safe, mostly for the kids. So this is very important that since young they can learn, and this time when they growing up, you know that we are always be safe.
Right. Well, now, that being said, any last words to your viewers?
For those who are watching with me, thank you so much first for inviting me here. And it's
Pleasure.
my blessed too to be here. So little bit shy because it's my
No, actually doing great.
yeah. But for me, I'm giving advice to all the parents. It's very important. So we know there's a small challenge for kids to bring them to join the swimming class, but this is very important because we know that if you are in the water, we don't everything can happen,
Mm.
right? So this one you need to give a time to encourage your kids, even you also as a parents. Better
Right.
you join together. This is one way you're bonding with the family.
True.
I think it's the best way to give more, not only about bonding, at least you're learning, you know.
All right.
At least it's the best way also that everyone is more safe with inside in the family.
True. True.
Yeah.
And I need to do that myself, I guess. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Delma, for the interesting talk about lifeguards. You are
Yeah.
definitely our first.
I always be here if you need something. I can give more time with you
Okay.
for your viewers too. And
Okay.
thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our waters are safer with people like Romel Delma, pretty much making us safe when we are in our staycation, our swimming pools and seashores. More happening here on Bahrain Now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of tonight's episode, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, featuring our inspiring guests. Don't forget to reach out through our social media accounts shown below for more information and updates. I'm Bara Abdallah, goodbye, and God bless.